Welcome, people.
Hello. It's lovely to see everybody. Hi there.
Welcome, folks. We're both a little harried. We both had some non-technical difficulties.
Yeah,
getting
absolutely.
going. It's all good. It's all good.
Could not make up my mind about what drink to get, whether I'd go for a beer or water, and I got water. But I got beer too, just in case I changed my mind. This is really nice, by the way.
Welcome to the Sid City Social Club for Tuesday, May 3rd. Which happens to be my younger brother's birthday, but he never comes to this, so he doesn't get a shout out. We are glad you're all here. All right, over to Sid.
Hello, everybody. It's lovely to see you all. Happy May. We finally got there. Not completely happy waking up in the States yesterday. All kinds of things are afoot. I don't know if you know much about what's been going on at the Supreme Court. Some of you will be incredibly depressed by it. Some of you will be elated, perhaps. Either way, something leaked, and it never, apparently, nothing ever leaks from the Supreme Court. It is so watertight in terms of its security that someone felt that overturning Roe versus Wade or Casey, depending on which way you want to look at it, is so important that they thought they would leak it. And I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that it's one of the other judges. But we shall see. Goodness knows what happened. That's one of the only people who can do that with impunity because they've got this appointment for life. But it left me kind of disturbed because I don't want to be a bummer. There's so many things I can be a downer about. So I'm going to just try and lightly tripping over the subject of abortion. If that's even possible. It's one of those things, you know, that I talk about with my wife, and you probably talk about with your families from time to time, or at least your significant other. I obviously am not qualified to have a really amazing opinion about it, partly because I'm a guy and I'm unlikely to ever give birth. And the control over my body is one of empathy only in terms of you guys. And I cannot put myself in your place, only figuratively. It's really sad, I think, that 50 years with precedents and the law having been changed to protect women's rights to decide about their own healthcare, which is the larger subject here. It's not just abortion. I'm just sad that all this progress for women and their freedom and their recognition in society has just been, or is about on the verge of being scrubbed away. And that puts America among the company of 4 other countries on the planet who have banned abortion. Think about it. 4. Anyway, I thought I'll put it out there. If you want to talk about it at all with me, you're welcome to. I just have to confess that I am only marginally qualified to talk about it, having experienced it from my point of view, not from any real personal knowledge of the event or what it would actually put you through psychologically if you're a woman. But let's get cracking. I know we've got at least one birthday, and I would love to say hello.
Yeah, it's not an easy segue. But
it's not, but
your experience, that's valid.
It's one of those things I just couldn't leave sitting there like a small toad in the room, you know.
Yeah, I just want to say your experience is valid. So Megan, I apologize that we are going to your birthday greetings.
No, because I'm really happy to see Megan. It's okay.
Yes, we are happy to see you, Megan.
Hello, and I'm sorry. That's a heavy start.
It's a heavy start, but I don't think we could leave it. So what did you do for your birthday? Is it today, or is it on Thursday?
Oh no, it's in a few days, but I guess I should watch that episode Distant Voices because I'll be turning 30, so situation.
You know what's really funny about that episode? And I was in my late 20s at the time, and what they imagined I would look like when I was 40 is hilarious, because I still don't look that old, even in my late 50s. So we really got that kind of wrong. But it was really a slog to do that episode because of the amount of makeup and the amount of concentration. And I think I way overacted the very elderly, but I'm not sure. I think it's always the way it goes. But you can watch it if you want. I don't think I've ever seen it since it actually came out. Do you have plans?
A few plans of family and friends.
Lovely.
But I was just going to have a quick happy birthday greeting because
Then let's get a quick happy birthday greeting from the whole place, please.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday!
you.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday to ya!
Bam! You take it. Take it. Be
appreciate
beautiful.
it. Thank you all.
You said you're just gonna have some dinner with friends and with family.
Yes, I'm between the spring and summer semester, so I have these next few days off. So just going to relax.
What's your favorite kind of food if you had a choice? What could you always eat? Whatever situation.
That varies. I really do like curry, but for my birthday dinner, I'm going to this Korean barbecue. I've never had it before, so I'm interested.
Oh, you'll love it. I'm sure you'll love it. It'll be delicious. I love curry too. I'm partial to hot curry. Have a really happy birthday when it comes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice talking with you, Megan.
Happy birthday, Megan. Okay, we have Goth Emma to share with us how Oxford celebrates May Day.
Emma.
Hello.
Hello, lovely. It's good to see you.
Good to see you again in 2D again.
in 2D again. I know, really weird. How was your trip back? Okay.
It was fine. A lot less eventful than the trip out.
Yeah,
But I've never been to the States before. I've never really been outside of Europe,
oh
really.
my goodness, that was your first
So it
time
was
in
all
the States.
Yeah. So I had a week of touristing in Chicago. I went and saw all of the tourist things, all the museums. I went up the Sears Tower and all of that.
Good.
Because I figured if I was going all that way, I was going to spend some time out there.
Absolutely, and Chicago's a great city. Did you have
So,
a lovely time?
oh, it was magical. I had a wonderful time, and I still can't quite believe I did it all.
Yeah.
I keep looking back at all the photos and going, "Oh bloody hell, I did that!"
Yeah, it was lovely to see people in the flesh, wasn't it? It was just really
It was lovely, and to
so
hug everyone and
wholesome.
find out how tall they are.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh my goodness. So May in Oxford.
May morning is one of my favorite things. It's for those in the club who are not in Europe. May Day is like a very old folk holiday. It's sort of loosely based on Beltane. It sort of mixes in with Walpurgis Nacht and things like that. But in Oxford, for some reason, we have a tradition of this is the Green Man. It is a man wearing most of a tree. He has to be led around on a leash because he can't see where he's going. And over the course of the morning, all the foliage will slowly wilt. But I'm always glad to see him.
I see Morris
So,
dancers.
yes, lots of Morris dancers. What happens is that all of the pubs and bars stay open all night. And then first thing in the morning, there is a choir that sings at the top of the Magdalen Tower. And there's a video clip of that in a minute. But and then after that, there's just music and dancing. So this is the folk band that sets up outside the Bodleian. When they all stop playing their music, it becomes a rave for some reason.
Wow.
At 10 o'clock in the morning.
God.
And Morris dancers, lots of Morris dancers who had quite a lot of different sides come along this year because obviously for the past couple of years we haven't been able to do it because of COVID, which is the first time in I think about 1,000 years that it hasn't been celebrated in Oxford. Like even during the Great Plague we had May morning apparently, but we didn't during COVID.
It was probably
it's
lovely.
a very old tradition.
Just looks fantastic.
It's good fun. It means getting up at the crack of dawn, but it is a lot of fun. And I love Morris dancers because I used to Morris dance when I was a tiny child. So
me too.
Lots of Morris dancers. Well, this is all on Broad Street, if anyone, and that's just my face.
You look good. You look green. You look positively
Yeah.
herbal.
people just turn up in elaborate masks and wreaths and all sorts. I love it because it's a sort of it's one of the few occasions where the whole city gets together, and obviously you do get a lot of tourists and whatever, but you get sort of the drunk students, the posh people, the hippies, the weirdos, the arty types, all come together
Yeah, it's great.
and just celebrate the beginning of spring, and it's just really nice, and it's all free. It's just magical. I've been going to May morning since I started at university here, which was in 2006, and it never gets old hearing that. Just every year, it's just beautiful.
I just love all the people getting together, everybody from all walks of life and coming to hang
That's
out.
what I love about it.
Yeah.
There's so many events in Oxford that are just sort of a bit splintered. There was one year I literally bumped into Ian McKellen because he was doing a play there, and I backed into him because if you're in town, you go to May morning. It's something fun to do.
I hope
Oh,
I
sorry.
hope it was very nice to
Sorry.
you.
He was very sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lovely man. That's and what let's go a little bit, talk a bit about this, because I don't know much about this pagan celebration. I assume it has something to do with fertility and new season and
Yeah,
all of that stuff.
it built up around Beltane, which was one of the main Celtic fire festivals. So it's like the beginning of each season in the Celtic calendar. So Beltane was the beginning of summer, or sort of beginning of spring into summer. So it's very sort of fertility and a lot of slightly phallic symbolism, and that's where you get the sort of green man stuff, and the maypole, which is just a massive phallic image.
We used to dance around. Did you used to dance the maypole?
I did Morris dancing more than anything else, because that we had a lovely guy at my primary school who his day job was that he was a lawyer and a circus clown. So he taught us Morris dancing, and then every May bank holiday he would like there'd be a busload of us going around New Forest, because I grew up in Hampshire. We go around the New Forest, and he would play the accordion on stilts in his clown outfit with all these tiny children in tattered jackets running along in front of like a sort of demented Pied Piper. It was great.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
So yeah, I love May Day because it brings back all those memories of
I do too.
childhood.
I do too. I remember we used to Morris dance every Sunday in summer, and Mr. Shepherd, our English teacher, and he taught us how to Morris dance, which is quite a feat to teach 15 kids to Morris dance. And he did a good. And two of us were seconded to the violin, because if we were learning violin at all, we had to play violin. So I squawked my way through all the songs on my violin. And Neil, my best friend, Neil Mackenzie, was also was a good violinist, and he played right next to me. And then we'd sing. We were called the Mushroom Men. And I just used to look forward to pork scratchings. If anybody knows what those are, I would get pork scratchings at pubs, and they were just like divine to me. It was, and we got shandies. We were allowed shandies.
We would we would end up going around things at the New Forest, and we get all the older adult sides going, "Oh, do you want a beer? Oh, you're 12. Oh, we can have a shandy."
Yes, exactly. That's really funny. That's really cool. So now, what sort of music do you play at home? Do you play music? You might not be averse to music.
I play piano very, very badly, but my piano is at my mum's house in Portsmouth, so I'm very, very out of practice.
What's your thing? What do you like to play or listen to even?
I'm a big goth, but
what does that mean musically?
So
you just listen to The Cure over and over again.
I do that. There's like a huge umbrella of music that's sort of spiraled out from sort of what we call trad goth, like The Cure, Susie and the Banshees,
Susie and the
Bauhaus.
Banshees.
Bauhaus
I
are my favorites.
loved Susie and the Banshees.
She's amazing. I saw her live once, and that was incredible. But there's also like a whole load of different genres that have sort of wheedled out of that. So there's like sort of metal crossovers and electronic crossovers and folk crossovers, and I like bits of all sorts. Hopefully this year I'll be able to go back to one of the goth festivals that I usually go to and see lots of bands. I am I'm quite into the music, but that's sort of, I don't know, I don't tend to talk about it that much with other goths because it's a whole like can of worms that takes a lot of explaining.
And you tell people, you expose too much about yourself. You know, then you become pigeonholed as a certain type of goth because you like that music.
Yeah, a little bit, and also like I like bits of all sorts within the umbrella. So it's sort of when I DJ, I mainly play like trad goth and post punk, that sort of thing. The more traditional, like old school goth. There's a whole stupid big debate about whether goth is more about the clothes or whether goth is more about the music, and it's a whole
It's
thing.
everything.
And there's
Everything.
loads of
the way of life. It's like punk.
and
Punk
there's
was
a
the
lot of
music and the clothes.
there's a lot of people going, oh, you if you say that you can't be goth without liking the music, then you're gatekeeping, and oh, if you can't be this, you can't say you're goth if you wear that clothes or whatever. And it's just, I don't care.
Who are the goth police? Who gets to be goth police? Come on, that's ridiculous.
Pretentious old farts.
Absolutely. The minute you have a bouncer at the door of any subculture, the subculture starts to die. Yeah.
But the dress code is like as limited to wear some black.
I think the Munsters and the Addams Family come to mind as like quintessential goth.
Yeah,
you got to put a lot of eyeshadow on and and make your hair really messy or really do something with it. But it's you just got to look really like mesmerizingly, dangerously dead.
Yeah, I'm just extra. I mean, you've seen what I wear.
I know. I've seen it in real life. Well, I'm just loving catching up about all that, and thank you for giving us an intro on goth. I think it's a very attractive subculture. I totally understand why.
Just a bit of a tangent. We tend to be kind of introverted, but we're also just terrible nerds. And we tend to be very friendly and sweet. We're just a bit awkward.
Love them, love it, love that subculture. I think it's one of the nice ones. Thank you very much, Emma. Thanks for sharing.
It's good to talk to you again. I'm going to shut up now.
Thanks, Emma. It's always an education. I love it. All right, we are going to meet Callisto.
Ooh, Callisto.
All right. Hello, hello.
Hello, Callisto. What a wonderful name. It's one you can conjure with. It's terrific. Love it.
It was top of my list. I will let you know that two of my names on my list were from Trek. I was between Callisto, Io, Annika, and Jazia.
They're all lovely. They're all great sounding names. Where in the world are you, Callisto?
So I was actually going to mention all the talk about Chicago and the museums and everything. I'm actually in the Chicagoland area and suburbs of Chicago, but I work in Chicago and I went to university there for about 2 years. So it is very much my city. I was living for the talk of museums, and I was super bummed I couldn't actually make it to Mission Chicago. I took the train past McCormick and I was like, I want to be where the people are. Just like
I know, you could have come and say hello in person. It would have been so cool.
One of these days. The next time it's back in Chicago, I definitely intend to make it out there.
Yeah, we'll get there again. It's a terrific city and it's a kind of middle spot.
Yeah.
So what you're at university? Are you teaching, learning? What's your thing?
I am a recent graduate of university as of this past December.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy about that. And I'm still actually work with the Disability Student Center, essentially, for that university still. They kept me on after, because I started when I was as a student. I started working there, and I've sort of stayed on with them.
And as a kind of mentor, or as a kind of I'll show everybody around the ropes type thing.
It's more sort of an office position. So most universities have what is called a disability resource center, which is the people who by law are the ones who need to make sure you're accommodated and everything.
Yeah.
But we have a disability cultural center, which there are only 10 of those in the United States. And it is essentially a place for students and friends of the community to come together. It's an activism space. It's like recently we've been organizing protests over a potential remodel of the university's quad that would make it way less accessible. It's
Right.
we do a lot of things and wear a lot of hats, but mostly what I do is I write our newsletter and sort of put together the event listings and everything. And it's a really kind of rewarding thing.
What a fabulous thing to do. I mean, I'm sorry you didn't make it to Chicago, because we did a disability panel on Star Trek.
I did. I saw that. It's on my list of recordings to watch. It is such. I saw that, and that is like, ooh, it's the two things that I love very much. If you couldn't tell by the wall of posters behind me, I'm a little. I think I've got almost every crew on my walls.
How did you get into Star Trek? Because you're a little late to the party, unless you came relatively soon, recently, and went retrogressively.
I was very much kind of a late Trek bloomer. I am one of the people. There is sort of a generation of us who our first introduction to Trek was the blockbuster movies with Chris Pine. So my dad took to see that when we were young, and I enjoyed it. And then in about high school, I had a couple of friends online who were really, really into Star Trek, and said like, hey, you should go back, you should watch all the old stuff, the original series, Next Generation, etc. And I did. I specifically, I was dog sitting for a family friend that summer. They were out of town for a week, and I had open access to their Netflix account. And so I literally just watched all of Star Trek.
Oh my goodness, fantastic.
It was every waking hour was spent. I think I had started previously with the original series, and then I was specifically remember I was watching Voyager at that point and DS9 at the same time. I ended up finishing them on the same day, which was wild.
You double teamed 2 shows. That's crazy.
Yes, I alternated seasons. I would binge a season of DS9, then a season of Voyager, a season of DS9. It was amazing. That night that I finished both of them was the most emotionally conflicting night of my life. Absolutely. I mean, it was a joy, and it's really shaped my. Star Trek is honestly a special interest of mine these days. It's kind of started as just a hyperfixation, just something I was very, very into, just in the moment, and it just never stopped for the next however many amount of years.
You can go in so many directions with it. I mean, you could get all kinds of academic discussions going on the subject. It's such a beautifully inclusive world. It sort of set the kind of populist template for inclusivity. So my chair's really squeaky.
Oh, you're fine. That's worse.
And I think Discovery now is just about as a melting pot of melting pots as possible as is possible to be. And I love that. I've actually learned more about that since I've been doing this Zoom then actually I could have I was sort of brain dead about all of that sort of stuff up until I was in my mid 40s, and it just didn't occur to me, all these amazing tropes and all these ideas that were being explored on the shows.
And it's influenced my career that I'm going into. I have an interview tomorrow for kind of my dream job,
which is
we have a lot of museums here in Chicago, and one of them is a very big science museum, and I have been volunteering there for a couple of years, and I am interviewing to actually start properly working there, hopefully.
Oh my goodness, fingers crossed, Callisto. That's fantastic.
Incredibly. I am so excited, but that sort of that love of science and creativity is just something that I have carried
absolutely
so much. I am so excited. And
what sort of job is it? What is the sort of job you're going to go up for?
So the position is called guest facilitator, but it is essentially the face of the museum who will be there for the guests. And I would be the one like leading tours or telling people information about it. Just engaging with people and getting them excited about science.
You are such a good person to do that. You're such an energetic, bubbly, effervescent person. It's what the ideal person. Hopefully they've got their sensible heads on and they make the right decision. They push the button for you.
Thank you. Fingers very much crossed.
Fingers very much crossed. Absolutely. Well, we will be thinking of you. So good luck. That's it. And how have your family been throughout all this nonsense, COVID?
They've been doing surprisingly well. So my mom actually works for a very large food bank organization here in the city. And so it's kind of sad to say, but they have been busier than ever these past 2 years because the need has just increased so much.
Yeah.
My dad runs a local bookstore here. He actually, it's funny, he knows how much I love Star Trek. He will come home with like an old used book that they got in a donation, and it's like a Star Trek fanzine from the 90s or something, and it's like, oh hey, perfect.
What sweet parents you have.
We've all been really lucky that our routines have kind of been able to adapt with how much the world has changed and the ongoing pandemic and everything. And I've been able to work from home, which is really, really helpful. Went to school for history and anthropology. I'm a research historian.
Right.
So of course, I'm gravitated to Trek with the decade of in-universe lore about it and everything.
Yes. It's kind of ironic that science fiction has history, especially future science fiction. Yeah, absolutely.
It's fascinating, all of the universe that's been built up in there. Being a fan of it, I will sometimes go on sort of little research binges just into this fictional universe, which is just so much.
Do you pay much attention to current affairs?
A decent amount, yes. I try to sort of pay attention where I can without getting sucked into the spiraling doom scrolling, as the term has been coined in the last couple of years. I do what I can to stay aware without it becoming despaired at it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really smart, because I think I probably do the same.
I have a friend who is a really cool activist and political theorist, and they have this sort of theory that a lot of modern sort of online activism culture has this sort of outrage to it, and this like you need to be aware of everything or you're not being a good activist. And past a certain point, you just start flirting with burnout, and like, if you can't affect something, why be constantly taking in the stream of information? The human brain wasn't exactly made to process.
So what do you do to have fun? What's your, apart from obviously Star Trek, and now I understand museums, the list of fun things is actually growing quite quickly, but do you have other things? Is there something you just love doing to relax, to be sweet to yourself?
For me, video games are a lot of that, for sure. There's this game that I have probably put, I don't know, 10,000 hours or so into, called Kerbal Space Program, where you can essentially build your own rockets and launch them to a sort of fictionalized solar system.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's sort of a simulator game of the vein that are very sort of popular, that have been since like the beginning of computers, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun to dig into it and just build something for fun. It's very sort of, it's got the same appeal, I would say, as like Lego or that kind of just putting things together yourself.
And as a sim, does it concentrate very much on sort of the physics?
Yes, precisely. There are NASA astronauts who play it for fun. It is very much, while it is kind of basic and it doesn't have all of the math into it, it does have a basic understanding of orbital mechanics to it. And I feel like I've learned a lot without really feeling like I'm learning. It's just,
yeah, that's great. It's just such a delight to meet you. I hope we see lots more of you. I would love to hear whether you get tomorrow's job, and even if you don't, I know another terrific door will open. So I won't feel bad, but I know that you're just the ideal person. I've only known you for 15 minutes. So terrific. Well done, Callisto. And just congratulations on your attitude. I love your attitude to life. You're just one of life's positive people. More, please.
Thanks, Callisto, for coming, and good luck tomorrow. Okay, we're going to go meet another new friend, Ellie.
Hi.
Hello. I'm waiting for your picture to come up on my screen. There you are. Great. Nice to see you, Ali. Hello. Where in the world are you?
I am in Czech Republic.
In the Czech Republic. My goodness, it must be very late there. It must be very early.
4 in the morning, and I actually wake up at 3.
That's fantastic, Ali. Thank you. That's really wonderful to meet you.
Thank you.
That's lovely. Do you have to be quiet because other people are sleeping, or are you okay?
No, it's okay. My mom
Good.
is in the other room, so yeah, I'm okay.
That's great. So what are you up to in the world? What are you doing?
I am in the group of Trekkies here, and we are trying fight against bullying, and we just have our community with people who are bullied, and yeah.
That's wonderful.
We
That's really such a wonderful thing to be doing.
My other friend who is from Chicago was on the mission Chicago and actually talked with you about it. I don't know if you remember, but
I've just got a terrible memory. I'm awful. I can remember some things, but it takes a lot of energy for me to remember lots of people.
Yeah.
But I didn't meet anyone who I didn't really like all weekend. So that's one. And how come you speak such fantastic English?
Well, thanks to Trek again, because I watch every shows that I like in English, and a lot of practice, because I was in last year I became au pair in England. So yeah. From there.
How was that? How was being an au pair in England?
It was amazing, and actually I am coming to America as an au pair on August, so I'm moving to America.
Wow, how exciting. Whereabouts in England were you?
Brighton. I was in Brighton.
Oh, Brighton's a great town.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And do you know where you're going to get where you're going to go in the States? Do you think you're more likely to get a family from the Czech Republic in the States to hire you?
I don't think so, because, and I hope so, no, because I can practice my English even more.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's brilliant.
I'm hoping.
That is amazing. How did you find Star Trek? How did that happen?
Well, actually, I was not bored, but I am Stargate fan as well. But I see Stargate so many times, so I asked my friends for guidelines about Trek, because when I Google it, there were so many movies and so many series. Yeah. So my friend asked me about what I love most about sci-fi, and I say time travel and stuff like that. And she recommended me DS9 and Voyager. So I start with DS9, and I just love that, and I just finished that in 1 month.
Oh wow!
So,
Goodness, it's so fresh.
And actually, we got little cosplay community on TikTok.
Oh yes, you've got some of the uniforms there.
I made them. They're
brilliant. Ellie, that is incredible. You made those?
Yes.
They look fantastic. They really look amazing. And they're the right colors and the right shape and everything. You're brilliant. Wow.
And actually, I am meeting Nana and other actors from Trek next month in Germany in FedCon, so I'm so excited about it. So yeah,
that's awesome. I've done it several times. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can ask you. We got Comic-Con in Prague. Are you interested to come to Prague? Maybe.
I would be very interested in going to Prague. But I don't know what my schedule's like, and I have absolutely no idea. But it is a beautiful city. I mean, I've seen it on TV. I've never been. And what a history. But I've learned a bit about, you know, former Czechoslovakia and all of that sort of stuff over the years as I was growing up. Always in the news. And what an astonishing history of like invasions and all. I mean, it's a bit like Ukraine, you know. It's been bullied by so many people as a country. It must be quite something to grow up there with that history and your parents who've lived it and understand what's going on in around the world because of it. What do your parents do? Do you mind me asking?
Well, my mom is a nurse at the hospital, and my dad is working. I don't know how to say it, in factory. And stuff like that.
You said it. That makes complete sense. Have they been healthy? Have they been okay throughout?
Yeah.
What do you do to have other fun? What do you go out with friends? Do you listen to music? Do you like rock?
And also, me and my mom is making stuff like we tie-dye T-shirts together. We just make baskets and stuff like that. And actually, I am learning to do with resin, with just like this like keychains and stuff like that. So yeah.
And you have to put that with how do you make that? With a mold, or do you use
with mold?
That's fantastic. Have you got anything else around there that you're making?
I just got the decoration where I am putting lights in there. So yeah.
Gorgeous. That is amazing. So you must make stuff for everybody.
It's always make me happy to make people happy, if that makes sense.
That's lovely. It makes complete sense. I think a lot of people are like you in this club. A lot of people are happy making other people happy. It is a pleasure to welcome you, Ellie, and I'm so happy you came. Come back as many times as you want, and if you want, please come back and show us more stuff that you're making and how you make stuff, and photographs of people in the stuff. I would love to see that. We love that stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for staying up late, Ellie. Okay, let's go check in with Vivian from Czech to Brazil.
Oh, hello. Everybody hear me?
Vivian, hear you loud and clear.
Hello.
Good to see you again.
Hola for people in South America. Ahoy for people in Czechia. Everybody, hello. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. I'm really well. Yeah,
yes,
I'm really happy.
Okay too.
Spring is coming, so it makes me happy that it's getting warm. Obviously, in Brazil, it's hot all the time.
All the time, even today.
Absolutely. How are you? How have you been?
I'm okay. The last time we talked, I didn't show much of drawings you asked. So I thought, oh my God, maybe Sid is curious or not. I don't know. I feel I owe you this. So I am showing drawings today.
That's amazing.
Your reaction.
That's so great. Tell us about what's going on.
That's you and Andy reading, but you are a goat and Andy is
I didn't
rabbit.
Want to say, but I had a sneaky suspicion.
Yes,
you've done this really well. That's a really good.
You are a Barbary sheep or all that, and there's a rabbit because I talk about what offensively cute animal Garrick can be.
You've made the rabbit look just like Andy. It's amazing. you've got the picture.
Everybody was crazy about it.
That's really
I was
fantastic.
very shy to share it in the first time, but
I am so happy you shared it. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Sometimes I sketch you when you were talking.
Wow.
So I needed
amazing.
I'm so glad you like it. And do you like the choices here? And
yeah, I think it's fantastic. I love the goat. I love the long beard.
It's called Barbary sheep or all that. It's big. It has a very long mane here and in the arms.
It's just
long
wonderful.
horns. They are so beautiful.
This is just such exquisite artwork. You are so good at this. What a look at this.
Thank you. I did this when I was watching TNG, and it's all cruel. I have so many ideas. I don't have time to draw them all. I wanted to do the same for TNG and DS9, but still not. Maybe next year.
You're just brilliant. Oh,
that's me being confused.
It's adorable. I love the background. I love what you've done. I mean, you've made it like a dappled under the tree shade.
Yes, thank you.
It's just fantastic. I was just super impressed.
I'm glad you like it.
Of course. How could anyone not like it?
Oh.
Do you do this? Do you do this professionally? Do you draw professionally? I can't remember if we talked about that.
Yes, I actually. Me professionally, it's a hard question. Okay, I have a job, but just like 10% of my job is doing this and teaching this, and the other 90% is the normal stuff with normal people. I keep it a bit like a parallel job, like doing commissions and streaming, and I give some classes for free on Twitch, but they are in Portuguese, but everybody can see and and understand the pictures, because I'm doing this with a friend who is a veterinarian, and so we talk about anatomy, and I talk about a bit art and art history. And so
when you say you do it on Twitch, do you have a website? Do you have a place that people can go and see your art?
The last time we talked, we don't talk much about drawings.
No.
But it was interesting because I love the drawings, but the most interesting thing is to make connections between people. So I have my best friends are artists also, and we talk about drawings. We cry together for because art is life.
Do you have any heroes that you think that, oh my goodness, that person is such an amazing artist or illustrator?
I knew you would ask it. I did a mental list, but I forgot.
That's
because
right.
There's so many
you
things.
You don't have to say.
I don't have a hero. There are things that grew with me, that I saw when I was a child. Simple things like my staple when I was a child was Lion King and Sensei. And you can see it. I really like some classical artists. I love Van Gogh. I like Toulouse-Lautrec too. And there are many local artists I love too, like some new concretist art and everything from concrete art and architecture that is very lively in your city, like Oscar Niemeyer and stuff. I like very much also popular art like crocheting and sewing, and I'm starting to sew too. It's a taper. We love tapers. It's still a bit not like a taper because I am starting, but you see, I like all these colors and stamps and patterns. Everything.
You have great taste. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so lovely. So can you name, I mean, this is just useful to me. Can you name a local artist? Because I won't have heard of them because I'm not knowledgeable.
Okay.
But I can always look them up.
J. Borges. We have an exhibition now here in São Paulo. He works with woodblock.
Right.
These wood blocks came with poetry, with popular poetry,
Right.
sometimes very absurd things. It's hard to explain. It's a very
Well, we should go and
Brazilian
have a
thing.
look. We shall go and have a look.
Yes, yes,
We'll
yes.
just pick it
I
out.
think not only the images, but the poetry is a bit
Yeah.
hard to explain.
It sounds great. I mean, I'm loving the idea. I'm gonna look it up and check it out. It's just I don't.
Yes.
You never know about the local level. I should ask everybody about that local artists that you know
Yes,
maybe
and
haven't
that,
become international yet, because it's just so interesting to see.
yes, yes. When I was in university, I always went to the library and tried to pick, oh, that's a book in Russian. I don't understand the thing, but I want to see this. Or, oh, a book in Lithuanian. It's like, I like to try to meet a bit of things all around the world, and it's lovely to see similarities.
Yeah. When you leave Sao Paulo, where do
Yes.
you go? Where do you like to go? I mean, if you're staying in Brazil,
When I have free time,
yeah, when you have a
I usually go to parks, normal parks. There are some nice parks around the city when you can see
because you have beautiful
nice
birds.
animals. Yes, we
Yeah.
have many birds, capybaras. I also like to go to museums sometimes.
Yeah.
Both natural history museums or art museums. For me, both of
When
them
did you
are
start
nice.
drawing? When did you begin? When did you? I mean, everyone started. You started drawing when you were a tiny baby. Everybody does. But
Yes,
when did
I
you?
just don't stop it. Everybody draws animals, and I just didn't know how to stop.
But you do something unusual. You draw people as animals.
Rarely. Yes, it's not so unusual.
You transmogrify.
There's an entire subculture about it. For me, it's nice because we can mix histories.
Yeah.
You know, like I draw myself like a rat, so I can mix my history. So what's a rat, what people think about rats, you know, or like we can have that surprise factor, like Garrick is a bunny, like what?
I still love.
Not a lizard. Why a bunny? Or
yeah, I love that. I love all that.
I'm glad that you like it.
The human is just such a narrow definition, which is pretty much what we are. But we're lucky that we can imagine us as anything and appreciate it.
Yes. Our mind shapes a lot about what we think we are, our mind, our culture, our language.
Yeah.
So
I don't have any objection. We grew up with goats. We had 2 goats at our school between the age of 8 and 12, 13. We had 2 goats outside, and all the boys made friends with them, and but they were quite rude. They would hit us a lot. They would
yes, they love it. Do it. So I know goats can be very mean, and
they're not mean. They're just rude. I never thought. I mean, every you can find a mean anything, but with the goats, you would be like petting, saying hi, and they would never mean, but they just start eating your clothes.
they are like, for me, they are like hoofed cats, because they climb things. They climb impossible things. They eat everything. They headbutt you. Yeah. They are cats.
Have you seen the goats in Morocco live in the trees? Well, they don't live there, but they go in the trees. So they make the tree look like a Christmas tree. Goats are standing all over the branches. I mean, it's no joke.
Love that. That is a Moroccan thing. I didn't know. I just know that
it might not be just Morocco, but I saw it in Morocco, and it's like, how did they? Why are they in the tree? And they just decided that I'm going to climb the tree to eat everything, and they're all up in the tree. So those are one kind of goat that I think are just amazing. They may not be indigenous to Morocco, and the other is a kind of goat which I don't know if it's unwell, but I've seen only videos, because I haven't seen these in real life. But if you clap, they faint.
Ah, yes, the fainting goats.
Yes.
They are.
It's probably very bad for them.
Myotonic goats, I think. Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. I have loved talking to you, Vivian. Thank you so much. I had no idea that you were as talented as you are. So I now I'm going to have to press you to show us more drawings. Come back and show us.
Just call me. Everybody call me. Everybody talk
Come
to
on
me.
over. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks, Vivian.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. And our next meeting is next Tuesday, same time, same channel.
Boom.
All right. Bye, guys.